Way back in the mid-80s, I purchased my first four-wheel drive as a way for me to access remote bush areas to go shooting and hunting. These days, I'm still a hunter and proud shooter. And it's good to know that almost every hunter in Australia owns and uses a modified four-wheel drive, just as every farmer owns and uses a modified four-wheel drive. Farmers and hunters are all shooters, so the connection between shooting, hunting and four-wheel driving is absolutely undeniable. For me personally though, hunting gives me a strong connection to the land. It's Australian to be outdoors and enjoying our beautiful country. Hunting also gives me an appreciation for life and wildlife. It keeps me in tune with the environment and this beautiful land that we are surrounded by. I'm fortunate enough to work in this industry, but for me, hunting, four-wheel driving and the great outdoors is a lifestyle. It's a way of life, it's an absolute passion. Hunting in Australia is legal, it's ethical and responsible. But when you connect it with dogs, you're dealing with your best friend. And next up, we've got a very special event that combines a stack of my passions: hunting, four-wheel driving and dogs.
I'm Irene Hobbs, I'm the Vice President of the Victorian Hound Hunters.
My name's Sean Gray, I'm part of the VHH committee. As you can see from today, the amount of hunters that have turned up, it's a very, very popular sport. The actual area in which we hunt is getting smaller. We'd love the opportunity to put our best foot forward and to expand out into different areas.
We've really ramped up to work in with other bush user groups and other hunting organisations so that we're all working toward a common goal, and that is all Victorians be able to make the best of our bush without any lasting damage to it. We take a lot of pride in the fact that when a hound hunter harvests an animal, 90% of that animal is used. And make no mistake, if the hunters themselves don't eat it, the hounds sure will.
Our event is obviously, as I said, to educate people. We want people to know how to butcher a deer in the bush. We're lucky enough today to have Paul Bogues give us the demonstration.
And that's rump. That's where rump comes from.
Paul's a very avid hunter. He has his own business where he takes people out hunting, so he's obviously very well qualified. The best thing is if someone knows how to cut a deer up and cut it out and get all that meat out, reuse that meat, whether it's for their dogs or for their own consumption. That's part of our education within the VHH.
It's a good way of instilling into the next generation to have pride in what you do and respect the meat that you're carting out. There's a real value to it, and anyone who's bought a leg of lamb or a piece of beef lately will be able to understand exactly where we're coming from.
Oh, hell yeah.
I think that there's a lot of misconception around how hound hunting is actually conducted. It's, in fact, one of the most regimented forms of hunting that there is. They are free casting hounds, but before the hounds go out, it's sized up as to what the actual animal is that you intend to hunt during that particular hunt. Before the dogs are put on the mark of the animal, the captain crew leader will oversee the area that you envisage hunting, and he will place his hunters strategically so as to lock up a particular system long before the dogs have been put in the bush. So then when the hounds are put in, we have hunters in place so that it's quick, ethical and responsible. The other thing is, a lot of the wider public don't understand that deer hunting and deer hunters take in excess of $430 million into the economy. That's just in Victoria, and we take out, in average, 260,000 deer.
A year.
Which goes a long, long way into controlling the wild deer population.
Nearly every hound hunter will have some sort of four-wheel drive. Every four-wheel drive you see go up the bush is decked out with some sort of suspension lift or bull bar or winch or driving lights. For the four-wheel drive industry and the accessories industry, there's a big uptake from hound hunters. Some hound hunters spend a lot of money on their vehicles. You'll see lots of people with swags and tarps and marquees. I know a few people will take caravans as well. As you'll see, most of the vehicles you see around here got a tray on the back, and they'll have some sort of box or hound crates on the back, and along with all their camping gear and the rest of it. So four-wheel drives are a really important part of people being able to get away and access remote areas. Today's one of our biggest events of the year here at Tullarook, the Registration, Microchipping, Family and Education Day.
focuses mainly around the assessment of the hounds so that they meet the regulations for GMA, Game Management Authority, so that we can hunt free casting hounds in the high country of Victoria.
To hunt sambar deer in Victoria, there's 3 types of breeds that you can hunt with legally. Bloodhound, the Harrier and the Beagle. There's obviously regulations around those different breeds, on the different sizes, standards around those breeds. So the way in which we assess those hounds is through measurements and looking for the actual type of hounds and the standard that meets that actual hound breed.
As the current regulations stand, we are allowed these 3 breeds of dogs, and it's important that we educate the hunters and the members as to the best ways to keep their dogs compliant to what the regulations call for, and each one of those dogs have certain traits in their standard that we encourage them to look for those traits in amongst the dogs that they have to ensure that the dogs that they breed on with in the future go forward toward the standard, not away from. There's a direct link between standards as to performance. We've put in submissions for a blue tick coonhound and a black and tan coonhound. There are other scent breeds, but they are the 2 main ones that are registered here in Australia. And if we can at least start there with some genuine consideration, they're true trailing bailing hounds, and it would go a long way to giving confidence with the hunters in the benefits of sticking to the standard and the type relating to each individual breed.
Obviously, hunting takes up a lot of people's times, and bringing the family along to one of these days is a great beneficial to bring people together and discuss everything hound hunting. The big thing about the VHH is around families. A lot of the memorial trophies are people that have passed away or had accidents, and obviously they're well regarded in the hound hunting fraternity. We put a bunch of different memorials around, the best hound truck or even the best stag head. We try and keep those families involved. These memorials have been going for a very long time now, so it's a big part of our day. Family days used to have fun on the jumping castles and face painting, and obviously the show bags and things that we give away. We understand that coming to these days can be expensive, so part of our day is we put on a barbecue free of charge. So we obviously have some sausages there and some hamburgers and venison steaks. Keep the kids happy and keep everyone fed whilst they're waiting for the raffle.
We'll cut up half a dozen deer. We'll have 50 kilo of sausages and about the same in hamburgers, plus the salads and things that go with it. We like to put on a pretty good spread and make it a day that people remember.
We dearly love every hound hunter to be a member of the VHH. The more voices we have, the more powerful we become. We rely heavily on memberships, but beyond memberships are our great sponsors and supporters. Without all those businesses coming on board and offering up raffle prizes, donations to the organisation, it'd be pretty tough for us to continue.
I think it's the most talked about raffle in the whole hunting fraternity.
2181.
If not wider.
I've got my prize coming over to you.
That's our way of our sponsors getting their name out there. It's a draw card for the people. It makes it a big, big day.
Big shout out to all those sponsors and supporters that have joined in and helped support the VHH, including Forward Drive TV.
Hey, what's Simon Christie?
Woo! The more word that we get out there about our sport and what we're in the bush to do, the more people know and understand we care for the dogs and we care for the animals that we hunt.
Public land is exactly that. It's public land. And we're smarter these days than what we were in the past. We know how we can enjoy it and still look after it, and we all fight to be sure that that continues.
See you, mate.
Thanks for a good day.
No
Thank
problem,
you,
Dwayne. Thanks for coming down, mate.
Thanks, mate. Appreciate it.
Cheers, mate.
Thanks, mate.
You 2 guys from the side?
Yep.
All right.
Should have taken the shot.
Simon.
Guys, we love creating this content, and what you can do to help us is like, subscribe, and comment. Leave information down below on what you'd like to see, and we'd love to see you following our channel and getting all of our videos as soon as they land.